Chapter 301 The members of the Prodigal Guard team are more playful than each other. Upper Realm, Wuji Holy Land. System, that's not right. Don't I have to use the Prodigal Guards when I'm in danger? At this moment, Yifeng suddenly thought of something and asked the system. Ding. The host is now a qualified Prodigal God, and there will be no more restrictions on the use of the Prodigal Guards. After hearing the system's explanation, Yifeng was really shocked. This is too much. System, what if I let the Prodigal Guards destroy the entire upper world directly? After recovering from his shock, Yifeng asked the system again. Ding. Remind the host that there will not be too many restrictions, not no restrictions at all. As long as the host dares to let them do that, the system will dare to lock them up in the small black room. I dare to let them destroy, and you dare to lock them up. Shouldn't we consider their feelings? After hearing the system's words, Yifeng fell into deep thought. He was thinking, should he just find a member of the guards to try, just in case the system is teasing him? After a while, Yifeng pondered for a long time, and finally gave up this tempting idea. If the system was really teasing him, the upper world would disappear directly. Let's go, and see the disciple recruiting conference of the Holy Land. After all, it's held every 5 years. When it's held next time, I may not be here. Yifeng looked at the 3 quasi-saints in front of him and said directly. The speaker has no intention, and the listener is guessing. After hearing what Yifeng said, Mu Lin and Shi Tianlei had their own thoughts in their minds. After all, in their minds, Yifeng was the son of a top Holy Land, and he came to the Wuji Holy Land just to have fun. And these words made the two of them have the same idea, that is, Yifeng would not be able to play in the Wuji Holy Land for 5 years, and he would definitely leave within 5 years. However, how could they know that what Yifeng meant was indeed to leave the Wuji Holy Land, but the real meaning was to leave the upper world? Above a certain valley, 3 men with a terrifying aura were rushing towards the Wuji Holy Land. Emperor Snow Eagle, Emperor Demon Blue. The benefits we got this time are average. We just need to destroy the Wuji Holy Land's disciple recruiting conference. Don't kill anyone. If they really want us to kill a few Supreme Elders, we have to ask them to pay more. A middle-aged man in a red Taoist robe looked at the 2 people beside him and said with a smile. Ha ha ha. Emperor Ghost Poison, you are right. 1 penny is 1 effort. If you want us to kill people, you have to pay more. Hearing this, the Snow Eagle Emperor on the side couldn't help laughing, and then laughed and echoed. 2 great emperors, we'd better be careful. The strongest Elder Taishu in Wuji Holy Land is only at the 7th level of the Immortal Emperor realm. If they give all the immortal spirit crystals to 1 great emperor, let alone killing a few Supreme Elders, even if they kill all 8 Supreme Elders of Wuji Holy Land, that would be enough. Why are they looking for us 3 independent great emperors? Besides, we are not sure whether they have found other independent cultivators. Speaking of this, the Demon Blue Emperor also revealed a solemn expression and continued, I always feel that this matter is unusual, we'd better be careful. After hearing this, the Snow Eagle Emperor and the Ghost Poison Emperor fell silent. You talk too much. At this moment, with a cold voice, a golden blade light flashed in front of the 3 emperors. When the golden blade light disappeared, the body of the Demon Blue Emperor split into 2 halves from the middle of the head and fell directly downwards. Kill the Emperor with 1 knife. The Ghost Poison Emperor and the Snow Eagle Emperor on the side saw this scene and were so shocked that their eyes almost popped out. Then, their eyes were filled with endless fear. Laugh. You 2 should keep laughing. Just like before, keep flying towards the Wuji Holy Land while laughing. I finally got out once, so I have to play for a while. If you dare to make me have a bad time, don't blame me for making you live a life worse than death. At this moment, Yi, wearing a golden battle armor, appeared in front of the two people, and then looked at them with a playful look and threatened them directly. Ha ha ha. Emperor Snow Eagle, we will die soon. I envy Emperor Yalan so much. His death is so comfortable. Ha ha ha. Emperor Ghost Poison, I envy him too. If I had known that this would happen, I should have moved closer to that golden blade light just now. Hearing such an interesting conversation between the two, Yi's cold face also revealed a smile, and then muttered to himself, it is impossible to kill them directly and go back, absolutely impossible. I can only add some happiness to myself in this way, but it is still fun in the outside world, and the people in the outside world talk so interestingly. On the other side, outside the Wuji Holy Land. At this time, tens of thousands of cultivators have gathered here. Even if the Wuji Holy Land is nothing in the entire upper world, it is a top force in this remote Dongzhou, and it can still attract a large number of cultivators. Take money from others and ruin the scene for them. How should I destroy the Wuji Holy Land's disciple recruiting conference later? An old man in the crowd muttered with a smile. Boom. At this moment, a terrifying pressure that suffocated the old man instantly enveloped him, and what made him feel terrified was that he found that the people on both sides were not affected, which proved one thing, that he was targeted by an extremely terrifying strong man. Since you are so entangled in how to ruin the scene, then just stay here honestly. At this moment, a childish voice suddenly sounded, and the old man looked down and found that a cute little girl eating a lollipop suddenly appeared in front of him. This Wuji Holy Land's disciple recruiting conference is really lively. But soon, I will become the most dazzling person in everyone's eyes. In the crowd, a fat middle-aged man with big ears was also looking forward to the start of the disciple recruiting conference. Hee hee. You've been chosen by me. You have thick skin and lots of flesh. I can cut you for a while longer. At this moment, an excited voice suddenly rang out from the middle-aged man's ear. At the same time, a terrifying breath of pressure also suppressed him in place. Except for his head, his whole body could not move at all. Soon, an excited one-armed swordsman and a bald dog appeared in front of him. What should I do? My target is actually a woman. How can I do this? Seeing a woman in black in the crowd, Yi Xiaojiao hesitated for a moment, and directly tore off a piece of clothing to wrap up his right foot, and then muttered to himself, I just added a little lethality to this piece of cloth, and it has absolutely nothing to do with my foot. Chapter 302, Just Know How to Play, Yi is still reliable. Not many people came to this disciple recruiting meeting. When Yifeng and the three quasi-saints came to the outside of the Holy Land, looking at the tens of thousands of cultivators gathered outside, Lu Chongqing also said with a little disappointment. There are so many people here, aren't there a lot of people you call here? I have a misunderstanding about size, and you have a misunderstanding about how much. Hearing Lu Chongqing's words, Yifeng also looked at him with a surprised look. Young Master Yi, don't look at me like that. What I said is true. After all, our Wuji Holy Land is one of the top forces in Dongzhou. The number of people in the last disciple recruiting conference was at least 3 times that of this time. Lu Chongqing hurriedly explained when he found Yifeng looking at him with a surprised look. Ha ha ha. Look over there, there is an extremely ugly bald dog sitting on the shoulder of a one-armed swordsman. The one-armed swordsman is not trying to find some confidence in the ugly dog. At this moment, as Mu Lin exclaimed, Lu Chongqing and Shi Tianlei also looked in that direction. When Yifeng heard this description, he felt a little familiar, but what he was puzzled about was that although the little yellow dog was a little bit mean, it was not ugly, and it was not a bald dog, but the one-armed swordsman plus the dog really made him think of the one-armed madman and the little yellow dog. Fuck. However, when Yifeng turned around and saw that the people and dogs Mu Lin mentioned were Yi Xiaojian and the little yellow dog, especially when he saw that the little yellow dog had turned into a bald dog, he couldn't help but swear. It was hard for him to imagine what the little yellow dog had experienced during the day he was away. Look, there is an extremely cute little girl over there. So cute, just seeing her, I can't help but want to touch her little head. At this moment, Tianhen discovered something again, and also pointed in a direction and shouted to Mu Lin and Lu Chongqing. Don't look at the little girl, look there. A burly bald man was constantly gesturing on the face of a woman in black with his big feet wrapped in cloth, and the woman in black didn't react at all. Are the monks now so playful? At this time, Lu Chongqing also pointed to a place in the crowd and shouted to the two people. The little girl riding on the old man's neck. The barefoot bald man who kept gesturing on the woman's face with his big feet wrapped in cloth. A bald dog sat on his shoulder, and a one-armed madman who kept gesturing on a fat middle-aged monk with a long sword in his right hand. Yi Feng, who was standing aside, saw the situation of the three formal prodigal guards at this time, and his face was full of black lines. System, did you not convey my order clearly? I asked them to deal with the three great emperors who were mixed in the crowd. Why are they still playing? After a moment of silence, Yi Feng also asked the system directly. Ding. The command conveyed by the system is extremely clear, but the host only told them to solve the target, but did not say how to solve it, nor did they set a time limit. As long as the three great emperors are not allowed to affect the Saint Lan's disciple recruitment conference, and finally wiped out directly, it will be in line with the host's order requirements. Ding. Remind the host that both the formal and reserve members of the prodigal guard are almost idle. The system believes that letting them relax appropriately will be very beneficial to their physical and mental health. Alas! Hearing the system's explanation, Yi Feng also sighed helplessly, looking at the three people who were having fun in the crowd. Yi Feng also thought to himself, Yi is still reliable. Every time he comes out to do things, he is very happy. I am afraid that he has already dealt with the three emperors who are rushing to the Holy Land. On the other side. Charge. At this time, Yi, with his 2 feet on the backs of the Snow Eagle Emperor and the Ghost Poison Emperor, was like a general commanding thousands of troops. As he swung the golden sword in his hand forward, he also exuded an indomitable momentum and shouted. If Yi Feng saw this scene, he would definitely ask Yi with his eyes wide open, why do you treat the 2 emperors as war horses? Outside the Wuji Holy Land. Since I caught up with this disciple recruiting conference, and I may only have this one chance, should I do something? Ignoring the 3 people who were having more and more fun in the crowd, Yi Feng was now in deep thought. I got it. Soon, a very interesting idea emerged from Yi Feng's mind, but this idea needed to be discussed with the Holy Lord. Elder Xinghuan. I didn't expect you to be here. Are you also interested in this disciple recruiting conference? Huli, here comes Huli. Seeing Huli coming from a distance, Yi Feng also hurried over and said directly, Holy Lord, for this disciple recruiting conference, I want to change the assessment method. Yes, Yi Feng's idea is very simple. Since he joined the Xinghuan sect in the lower realm by handing in spirit stones, he also wants to feel how cool that way of recruiting disciples is when he reaches the upper realm. If he can get a few good prodigal disciples or personal disciples, it will definitely be considered a profit. Hearing Yi Feng's words, Huli also frowned slightly. After all, this strict assessment method has been used in the Holy Land for tens of thousands of years. Suddenly making changes may have an impact on future disciple recruiting conferences. Elder Xinghuan, I wonder how you want to change it. Instead of directly refusing, Huli also looked at Yi Feng with curiosity and asked. No matter your qualifications. No matter your age. No matter your cultivation. As long as you can hand in 1 million top-grade immortal stones, you can join the Holy Land. Hearing Huli's question, Yi Feng directly expressed his thoughts. Because this is the upper realm, all the people outside are cultivators, Yi Feng directly raised the price to a similar level. What? Is this recruiting a disciple or robbery? Elder Xinghuan, what is your assessment standard? If you really do this, no one will choose to join the Holy Land. After all, 1 million top-grade fairy stones are far from what those ordinary cultivators, with only human fairyland cultivation, can take out. After hearing Yifeng's idea, Huli couldn't believe her ears. Is this an assessment method that a normal person can think of? I'll add money. Moreover, as long as someone joins the Holy Land in this way, even if the other party is a waste, I will accept him at Xinghuan Peak. Seeing Huli's big reaction, Yifeng also directly expressed his thoughts. Elder Xinghuan, this is not about adding money. If you really do this. Before Huli finished speaking, Yifeng interrupted directly, a large piece of purple dark crystal. Chapter 303, Too Brutal. The 7 great elders were almost scared to pee a large piece of purple dark crystal. Hearing the price offered by Yifeng, Huli hesitated. After all, the large piece in Yifeng's mouth is simply a mountain. Plus a bucket of Wuji Huanling liquid. Seeing Huli lost in thought, Yifeng also directly increased the stakes. Hearing this, Huli looked directly at Yifeng and asked seriously, Elder Xinghuan, is the bucket you mentioned a normal bucket? This shouldn't be considered normal. Yifeng didn't expect Huli to ask such a question. Elder Xinghuan, I think the assessment method you proposed is worth a try. As for the 8 great elders, I will tell them personally. After learning that it was not a normal bucket, Huli no longer hesitated and agreed directly. Holy Lord, if there is nothing else, I will go back to Xinghuan Peak first. If I really recruit a disciple, I will send him directly to Xinghuan Peak. After saying that, Yifeng turned around and walked into the Holy Land. He didn't want to do all this personally. With this time, he might as well go back to check today's squandering products and think about how to continue squandering. After all, he has only accumulated 3 immortality pills so far. There are still 14 days left, but he wants to accumulate as much as possible. When he really ascends to the upper realm, he can enjoy it. System, let Xiaojian, Xiaotang and Xiaojiao take the 3 emperors to Xinghuan Peak. Walking on the way to Xinghuan Peak, Yifeng suddenly thought of the 3 people who were still playing outside, and spoke directly to the system in his heart. At this time, Huli also took out the sound transmission stone and directly informed the 8 great elders of the situation. Nonsense, it's just nonsense. Asking for the assessment method to hand in 1 million top-grade fairy stones is simply robbery. Not to mention that ordinary cultivators with low strength can't take them out at all, even if there are people who can take them out, who would pay such a high price to join the Holy Land just to become an ordinary disciple in the Holy Land. After hearing the news, Elder Taishu was instantly furious and cursed, and then flew directly to Xinghuan Peak. He had to persuade Yifeng to give up this decision. This was no longer a matter of adding money or not, but it was related to the reputation of the Wuji Holy Land for more than 100,000 years. In addition to Elder Zizhu, the other 6 great elders also flew towards Xinghuan Peak with anger after hearing the news. They have been guarding the Wuji Holy Land. Regarding the reputation of the Wuji Holy Land, they value it more than anything else. They can't watch Huli abandon the reputation of the Wuji Holy Land for more than 100,000 years in order to obtain resources that can vigorously develop the Holy Land, and the first thing they think of is to persuade Yifeng first. Zizhu Peak. I'm afraid the other 7 great elders have already rushed to Xinghuan Peak. Thinking of this, Elder Zizhu sighed helplessly. It's not that he didn't want to go, but he knew that even if he went, it would be useless. Facing a prodigal who can weave a grass ladder with millions of Yinyang magic eye grass, no one can stop him from doing anything he wants. Xinghuan Peak. Let them release their own emperor aura, and then torture them severely in your own way. Dare to come to my Wuji Holy Land to make trouble, just kill them directly, it's too easy for them. Looking at Xiao Jian, Xiao Tang and Xiao Jiao, who brought the three emperors up, Yi Feng also said indifferently. If it weren't for him being here, Wuji Holy Land would not be able to stop these 6 great emperors. Yi Feng never showed mercy to his enemies. Soon, a series of cruel voices rang out from Yi Feng's elders' courtyard. Stop. The breath of the 9th peak of the immortal emperor realm, yes, it is definitely the breath of the great emperor, and there are 3 great emperors. Only those who have reached the 9th peak of the immortal emperor realm can call themselves great emperors. After noticing the 3 sudden emergence of the great emperor's breath, Elder Taishu also hurriedly asked the other 6 great elders to stop. 3 great emperors? Why are there 3 great emperors in Elder Xinghuan's residence? Elder Yugue, who was standing by, also asked with a serious expression after hearing this. I don't know. Moreover, these screams are extremely abnormal. Everyone, hold your breath, let's go over carefully to check what's going on. As Elder Taishu finished speaking, the other 6 great elders also quickly held their breath and followed Elder Taishu directly to Yi Feng's elders' courtyard. An innocent and cute little girl is smashing the bones of an old emperor with her fists. An excited one-armed swordsman is cutting the body of a fat and big-eared emperor into pieces of meat. A bald strong man with a cloth wrapped around his right foot was using his foot to trample a great emperor woman's body into pulp bit by bit. Seeing this horrible scene like the hell of Shura, the 7 great elders only lasted 3 seconds and fled quickly with a look of horror. To hell with persuasion. To hell with the reputation of the Holy Land. Although they guessed that Yi Feng's identity was not simple, they never dreamed that the protectors around Yi Feng were so terrifying that even the great emperors were like ants in the hands of those protectors. Moreover, when Yi Feng saw the brutal methods of his protectors, he not only did not show any disgust, but cheered excitedly on the side. Is this the performance of a simple prodigal son? Huh. When the 7 great elders escaped to the foot of the peak, they breathed a sigh of relief, and then all took out the sound transmission stone to contact Huli. They only wanted to tell Huli one thing, that is, whether it was a large piece of purple dark crystal or a bucket of infinite fantasy spirit liquid, they absolutely could not take it. As long as Yi Feng was happy, they would just cooperate with all their strength. The top of Xinghuan Peak. Xiao Jian, those 7 old guys were scared away just now. Why didn't you tell my master about this? Can't you tell me? Didn't you see I was busy cutting meat slices? Don't look at me, I was busy stepping on the mud pit. Then I won't say anything. This old guy's bones are really durable and fun. Anyway, they are all family members. In order not to affect their own interest in playing, the 3 of them put this unimportant matter behind their minds. Dog. How did you become like this? What did you experience during the day I was away? At this time, Yi Feng also looked at the little yellow dog lying beside him and asked. Seeing that Yi Feng finally noticed him, the little yellow dog cried with a face full of grievance, Master, that one-armed madman is sick. He chased me and chopped me for a whole day. All the dog hair on my body was chopped off by him. Chapter 304, What's going on? The magic spirit illusion stone is not used like that. Chased you and chopped you for a day? Why did he chase you and chop you? After hearing the words of the little yellow dog, Yi Feng also asked with surprise. He said that he doesn't have much time left in the lower world, and he wants to train me to be the best sword dog in the continent in the remaining 10 days. Master, do you think he is sick? Looking at the entire Shantian continent, I am the only one who has the yellow spring sword intention of the sword heart realm. Even if I don't practice, I am the best sword dog in the continent. I feel that he just wants to take the opportunity to torture me. Hearing Yi Feng's question, the little yellow dog also hurriedly expressed his guess. Have you become stronger in this day? Yi Feng looked at the little yellow dog and asked directly. It seems that I have become much stronger. Not only has the super Sholing pill improved my strength, but my understanding of the sword has also improved a lot. It's not the improvement of Huangquan's sword intention, but the simple understanding of the sword. The little yellow dog tilted his head and thought about it, and still told the truth. Became bald, but also became stronger? There is a one-punch man in front and a sword dog king in the back. After listening to the little yellow dog's words, Yifeng was stunned at first, and then he couldn't help laughing and said, "It seems that handing you over to Xiaojian is indeed the right choice. For the rest of the time, you will continue to practice with Xiaojian." At this point, Yifeng showed a hint of expectation and looked at the little yellow dog and continued, "First become the veritable #1 sword dog in the lower realm, and then after ascending to the upper realm, work hard to become the #1 sword dog in the upper realm. As you continue to become stronger, I want you to become the #1 sword dog in the heavens and all realms." Stare. Hearing Yifeng's words, the little yellow dog's eyes were instantly rounded, and a hint of despair gradually appeared in his eyes. "I thought I could live a happy life in the upper realm. Who would have thought that reaching the upper realm would be a new beginning?" Thinking that he would continue to be tortured by the one-armed madman, the little yellow dog collapsed and thought, "I don't want to be a bald dog anymore." And Yifeng no longer paid attention to the collapsed little yellow dog, and directly checked today's wasteful products. Today's wasteful products: Magic Spirit Fantasy Stone *10,000. Magic Spirit Fantasy Stone, a special fairy or in the upper realm that can block the detection of divine consciousness. That's it? When Yifeng checked today's waste product, his face showed a look of confusion. He really didn't expect that today's waste product information was so concise. It can block the detection of divine consciousness. I don't know how to use this thing normally. How can I waste money? Yifeng was also in deep thought at this time. Got it. But I'm afraid I have to ask Elder Yugue for help in this matter. After thinking for a long time, Yifeng finally thought of a way to consume the Magic Spirit Fantasy Stone. "My lord, these 3 guys have been played to death by us." At this time, Yi Xiaojian's voice also sounded from the side. "Dispose of the corpses, and then take the bald dog back." Looking at Yifeng, who left directly after speaking, the little yellow dog collapsed and said to himself, "It's over, it used to be a sword dog, but now it has become a bald dog." Yugue Peak, Elder Courtyard. "Elder Jade Ghost, someone outside wants to see you." A young man in a gray Taoist robe stood in the courtyard and shouted respectfully to the house. "No. I won't see anyone who comes. I just want to be alone for a while." Soon, Elder Jade Ghost's impatient voice came from the house. Although he had lived for tens of thousands of years and had seen many cruel things, what he just saw was the torture of the Emperor. Elder Jade Ghost has not completely recovered from the mental shock. Elder Jade Ghost, that person is the newly promoted Star Soul Supreme Elder of the Holy Land. If he doesn't meet him, wouldn't it be a bit bad? Pung. As soon as the young man finished speaking, Elder Jade Ghost broke through the door and ran out. Looking at Elder Jade Ghost who ran away, and then looking at the broken door, the young man was also confused and said to himself, although the person who came is Elder Star Soul, Elder Jade Ghost's reaction is too big. Elder Star Soul. When Elder Jade Ghost came to the Jade Ghost Hall, he saw Yifeng, who had been waiting for a long time inside, and he also shouted with a smile. "Elder Jade Ghost. I came here this time to ask you to help me. I wonder if you have time?" "But Elder Jade Ghost, don't worry, I will never treat you unfairly afterwards." After seeing Elder Jade Ghost, Yifeng also directly stated the purpose of his visit. "Elder Xinghuan, you are too polite. Just tell me what you need. I will do my best to help you." After hearing Yifeng's words, Elder Yugue also patted his chest and made a promise. Bang! With a muffled sound, a 1-meter long, 2-meter high, and half-meter wide Magic Spirit Fantasy Stone was taken out by Yifeng from the system space. This is the Magic Spirit Fantasy Stone. When Elder Yugue looked at the Magic Spirit Illusion Stone that looked like a mirror, his expression changed greatly, and he exclaimed. He had never seen such a big Magic Spirit Illusion Stone before. Is this the Magic Spirit Illusion Stone? I can actually see myself in it. Isn't this a mirror? Looking at the Magic Spirit Illusion Stone in front of him, Yifeng also showed a touch of surprise. Elder Xinghuan. If you want to cover some treasures with a layer of Magic Spirit Illusion Stone, you should ask Elder Zizhu. I am studying the art of formation. Even if I want to help, I can't help. After recovering from his shock, Elder Yugue also reminded Yifeng. No. Elder Yugue, you are the only one who can help me with this matter. I want to use this Magic Spirit Fantasy Stone to lay a huge maze at the entrance of our holy land, and then I would like to ask you to use this huge maze as the center of the formation to lay a mixed fairy formation. Defense fairy formation, protect these Magic Spirit Fantasy Stones from being destroyed. Killing formation, once someone wants to attack these Magic Spirit Fantasy Stones, it will automatically trigger the killing formation. Then, it would be best to find a way to allow all the Magic Spirit Fantasy Stones to move at will, and change the layout of the maze at any time. In this way, anyone who wants to enter the Holy Land can only enter through the maze. Yifeng also showed a serious look at this time, looking at Elder Yugue and expressing his thoughts. Use the Magic Spirit Fantasy Stone to lay a huge maze. How many Magic Spirit Illusion Stones would be used? Besides, Magic Spirit Illusion Stones are not used in this way. They are rare and special fairy ore that shields one's own treasures. After hearing Yifeng's crazy idea, Elder Yugue was going crazy. He even thought that if such a maze was really made, with the characteristics of the Magic Spirit Illusion Stone, whoever entered would be confused. Chapter 305 did nothing, but took the blame? What should I do? We just made a decision. As long as Elder Xinghuan is happy, we will fully cooperate no matter what it is. But I am not capable enough for this matter. Looking at Yifeng, who was looking forward to it, Elder Yugue also showed a look of embarrassment. Elder Yugue, is this matter very difficult for you? After discovering Elder Yugue's strangeness, Yifeng also asked out loud. Hey! Hearing Yifeng's question, Elder Yugue sighed helplessly. Without saying anything more, he took Yifeng away from Yugue Peak and walked directly towards the entrance of the Holy Land. Did you see the sword monument? That is the core of the Wuji Immortal Slaying Formation, which is also the strongest killing formation that has been passed down in the Wuji Holy Land for more than 100,000 years. This formation has been protecting the Wuji Holy Land. Once the Wuji Immortal Slaying Formation is activated, even the strong ones in the Immortal God Realm will fall here. Elder Yugue pointed to the 2-meter-high black sword monument at the entrance of the Holy Land and explained directly to Yifeng. More than 100,000 years ago, our Wuji Holy Land was also a very powerful force in the upper realm, but as each generation is inferior to the previous one, it has completely declined and can only dominate this small Dongzhou. Then, Elder Yugue also talked about some situations about the Wuji Holy Land with unwilling eyes. Hearing this, Yifeng also showed a touch of surprise. He really didn't expect that the Wuji Holy Land actually had a glorious past. Because there is the Wuji Immortal Slaying Formation here, it is impossible to set up a large formation here again. If you want to superimpose a defensive formation and a special formation that controls the Magic Spirit Illusion Stone on the Wuji Immortal Slaying Formation, I can't do it with my current ability. At this time, Elder Yugue finally said the real reason why he couldn't help Yifeng. That's not right. Elder Yugue, you said that our Wuji Holy Land was not here before. Doesn't that mean that the center of the formation can be moved? After listening to what Elder Yugue said, Yifeng suddenly thought of a situation and looked directly at the other party to ask. This Wuji Immortal Slaying Formation was created by a formation master in the Wuji Holy Land, and the center of the formation can indeed be moved 3 times. But the 3 opportunities to move have been used up. Elder Yugui also explained at this time. What about destroying it directly? Yifeng thought about it and proposed a new idea again. Destroy? Just to make a maze for fun, you are going to destroy the Holy Land's Wuji Immortal Slaying Formation? This is the last resort for the Wuji Holy Land to gain a foothold in the upper realm. After hearing Yifeng's crazy idea, Elder Yugui was also shocked, but thinking that he couldn't make Yifeng unhappy, he still pretended to laugh and explained, Elder Xinghuan, it is indeed possible to destroy it, but we can't destroy it. This formation I is not an ordinary formation I. It is no exaggeration to say that even if our 8 great elders work together, it is impossible to destroy this formation I at all. At this point, Elder Yugui smiled and continued, if Elder Xinghuan can destroy it, then we can start to arrange the maze formation. Elder Yugui didn't believe that Yifeng could really destroy the sword monument formation I, because what he said before was all true, unless a strong man in the immortal tribulation realm took action. Eye of Destruction. With a flash of destructive aura, the sword monument that had experienced more than 100,000 years of wind and rain disappeared directly on the spot. Okay, the eye of the sword monument is gone. Elder Yugui, we should be able to set up the maze array now, right? After getting rid of the obstructing sword steel array Yifeng also revealed a smile, and then looked directly at Elder Yugui and asked. At this time, Elder Yugui had already been dumbfounded. He didn't know whether the sword steel array was really gone, but he had been looking at Yifeng just now, but he saw with his own eyes that Yifeng's eyes suddenly turned into strange dark pupils. Moreover, he just sensed a terrifying aura of destruction, even though that aura was fleeting. Fuck. It's really gone. That's the last reliance of the Holy Land. How can I explain this to the Holy Lord? When Elder Yugui turned around and found that the sword steel array had really disappeared, he was going crazy, and when he looked at Yifeng again, his eyes were full of endless fear. Is this the power that a small cultivator of the first level of the fairyland can have? Elder Xinghuan, let's start setting up the maze formation. However, my ability is limited. The maze formation I set up may only be able to withstand the full force attack of a peak cultivator of the 9th level of the Immortal Emperor realm. If a strong enemy really attacks in the future, I'm afraid your maze formation will be broken in an instant, and all the magic spirit illusion stones will be taken away. At this point, Elder Yugui no longer thought about it and could only set up Yifeng's maze formation first. He was really afraid that Yifeng would be unhappy and wink at him, then he would really be gone. However, hearing what Elder Yugui said, Yifeng frowned. He really liked this maze formation, and he was also going to use it to torture the enemy. If it could be destroyed at will, what was the point of doing it? System, are there any formation masters in the Prodigal Guard? As Yifeng finished speaking, a graceful white-haired man walked out of the Holy Land. My lord. I am a formation master. The white-haired man came to Yifeng, knelt on one knee, and said respectfully. No golden armor. Among the 10 people, where do you rank? Seeing the new official members of the Prodigal Guard, Yifeng also asked, curiously. My lord. I rank 5th among the 10 people. Hearing Yifeng's question, the white-haired man also answered quickly. 5th? This guy's strength is even higher than that of the one-armed madman. After learning the ranking of the white-haired man, Yifeng also showed a touch of surprise. My lord, please take out all the magic spirit illusion stones, and I will help you arrange a satisfactory maze array. The white-haired man looked at Yifeng and continued to speak. Who am I? Where am I? Didn't you ask me to help arrange the maze array? Watching Yifeng take out one magic spirit illusion stone after another, and watching the strange white-haired man start to arrange the array that he couldn't understand, the Jade Ghost Elder beside him was completely stunned. I came here and did nothing, but I got blamed? Thinking that Yi Feng destroyed the Eye of the Sword monument array because of his words, and he had not yet participated in the maze array, Elder Yu Gui was going crazy at this time. He really wanted to say to Yi Feng, "You have a powerful array master around you, so you should call him earlier. I am in an awkward situation now." Chapter 306, The Terrifying Maze Array, the excited Elder Yu Gui a moment later. "My lord, the maze array has been arranged. As long as someone dares to attack the magic spirit fantasy stone, the improved Wuji Zhanxian array will automatically open. At the same time, the Turtle Imperial Fairy array will also automatically open, which can protect all the magic spirit fantasy stones. Moreover, the biggest advantage of this attack and defense superposition fairy array is that it consumes fairy crystals extremely. Even the best fairy stones cannot be opened. At least low-grade fairy crystals are required to activate the fairy array." After arranging the maze array, the white-haired man also came to Yi Feng and introduced the situation of this superposition fairy array. Hearing that it would cost a lot of fairy crystals, Yi Feng's eyes lit up and he thought to himself, "This Lao Wu really wins my heart. Wait. Then how can this maze formation allow 10,000 magic spirit illusion stones to move freely, so that the layout of the maze can be changed at any time?" At this time, Yi Feng suddenly thought of something and looked directly at the white-haired man and asked, "My lord, I took a little bit from each of the 10,000 magic spirit illusion stones to create this token, and this token is the array eye of this maze formation. As long as someone drips blood to recognize the master, he can completely control the entire maze formation. At the same time, this person can also control the 10,000 magic spirit illusion stones at will according to his mood, so as to constantly change the layout of the maze. Moreover, as long as there is no problem with the array eye, the 10,000 magic spirit illusion stones can be taken away at any time, and then the maze formation can be set up again anywhere, without a limit on the number of moves." Hearing Yi Feng's question, the white-haired man also explained aloud, and at the same time, took out a palm-sized token. Because of the characteristics of the magic spirit illusion stone, the entire token looks like a small mirror. One last question, how powerful are the improved Wuji Immortal Slaying Formation and Guiyu Immortal Formation? Yi Feng looked at the white-haired man with curiosity and asked again. If the Turtle Immortal Formation is fully activated, it can withstand the combined full-force attack of 1,000,000 9th-level Immortal Realm Masters. If there are less than this number, as long as the Immortal Crystals can keep up, the Turtle Immortal Formation cannot be broken. As for the improved Wuji Immortal Slaying Formation, as long as the Immortal Crystals can keep up, even if it is a 9th-level Immortal Realm Master, as many as they enter will be killed. Hearing Yi Feng's question, the white-haired man also explained again. Can it withstand the combined full-force attack of 1,000,000 9th-level Immortal Realm Masters? As many 9th-level Immortal Realm Masters enter will be killed? You white-haired man, are you crazy? That is the top master in the upper realm. Why is he like an ant in your mouth? After hearing the words of the white-haired man, the Jade Ghost Elder on the side looked at him as if he was looking at a big fool. Just when the Jade Ghost Elder thought that the white-haired man was bragging, he saw Yi Feng suddenly throw the Formation Eye token at him. Elder Xinghuan, what is this? Looking at the token in his hand that looked like a small mirror, Elder Yu Gui also looked at Yi Feng with a puzzled look. Elder Yu Gui, I am very busy every day, but I don't have time to waste on this maze formation, so I will give this Formation Eye token to you. Hurry up and drip blood to recognize the master, let me see the power of this maze formation. As he said, Yi Feng suddenly thought of something, and directly took out a fairy ring containing 100 million top-grade fairy crystals from the system space and threw it to Elder Yu Gui, and then said, Elder Yu Gui, this fairy ring contains 100 million top-grade fairy crystals. When you activate the maze formation later, you can use it at will. Fuck. Are you guys serious? What you just said can't be true. Looking at the dense top-grade fairy crystals in the fairy ring, Elder Yugue's right hand holding the fairy ring and his left hand holding the eye token began to tremble violently. After all, he had lived for tens of thousands of years and had never seen 100 million top-grade fairy crystals, not to mention that this terrifying maze formation was about to be controlled by him. Yi Feng saw the frequency of Elder Yugue's hands shaking and felt that it was a bit wasted on the air. A moment later, when Yi Feng and Elder Yugue stood in the maze formation, as the terrifying sword energy that shook the space passed through their bodies, both of them showed extremely shocked expressions. Although Yi Feng didn't know the power of this green sword energy, it was already terrifying to be able to shake the space in the upper realm. And Elder Yugue was already speechless at this time. He was very clear about the power of the previous Wuji Xian Zhan formation, and now, he felt that the improved Wuji Xian Zhan formation was many times stronger than before. Elder Yugue, you can play by yourself first. I'll go back to Xinghuan Peak. If you run out of top-grade fairy crystals, come and ask me for them. By the way, aren't the Holy Lord and the 3 Supreme Elders hosting a disciple recruitment meeting outside? When they come back, we can use them to test the power of this maze formation. Watching Elder Yugue constantly controlling the 10,000 magic spirit fantasy stones to change the layout of the maze, Yi Feng said something and walked towards the Holy Land with a smile. Ding! Congratulations to the host for completing today's wasteful product. Reward 1000 wasteful points. Reward Ascension Pill *1. Ding! Congratulations to the host for triggering the wasteful behavior. Reward 500,000 wasteful points. After hearing the reward prompt sound of the system, Yi Feng also sighed helplessly. He wanted to ask Elder Yugue for help and give him some hard work fee to trigger the wasteful behavior later. Who would have thought that the other party really couldn't help? Otherwise, he could trigger the wasteful behavior once more, and maybe he could get a few more ascension pills. System, I just gave you 100 million top-grade fairy crystals directly. Why didn't you persuade me? That number is within the wasteful range. Isn't it a bit too much? At this time, Yi Feng suddenly thought of something and asked the system directly. Ding! Guarding the host's home in the upper realm, the host didn't ask for 10 billion like the lower realm, so the system naturally won't bargain with the host. Hearing the system's words, Yi Feng couldn't help laughing. He had forgotten about this matter, but he didn't expect the system to remember it so clearly. Look at your handsome white hair, so you'll be called Ji Xiaobai from now on. Xiaobai, you performed well today, do you want any reward? Yi Feng looked at the white-haired young man beside him and asked with a smile. My lord, I want to play in the outside world for a day. When the white-haired man heard Yi Feng's words, his face also showed a touch of excitement, and then he quickly said what he was thinking. Play for a day? Just when Yi Feng wanted to ask the system, he suddenly remembered that he had relaxed the conditions for the use of the members of the Prodigal Guard. Thinking of this, Yi Feng directly said to the white-haired man, Xiaobai, then you can play for a day, but don't cause trouble for me. Chapter 307 It was fine when I came out, but I can't go back. System, that's not right. When I asked you about the strength of the Golden Will Emperor, you said that the Golden Will Emperor could break through the entire Wuji Holy Land alone, and the strength of the Golden Will Emperor was only the peak of the 9th level of the Immortal Emperor realm. Can he ignore the previous Wuji Immortal Slaying formation? When Yi Xiaobai left, Yi Feng suddenly thought of something and quickly asked the system. Ding! The host originally asked about how strong the Golden Will Emperor was, and how he compared to the Wuji Holy Land. In order to give the host the most intuitive understanding, the system did not take the Wuji Immortal Slaying formation into account. Ding! Remind the host, if the Golden Will Emperor really wants to destroy the Wuji Holy Land, there will be countless ways to exhaust the fairy stones and fairy crystals of the Wuji Holy Land. Once he cannot activate the Wuji Immortal Slaying formation, he can still break through the entire Wuji Holy Land alone. After hearing the system's explanation, Yifeng also thought to himself, no wonder the Wuji Holy Land, even if it has the Wuji Immortal Slaying Formation, still hid in this small dongzhou. It does not have enough deterrence. With only a Wuji Immortal Slaying Formation, it really can't suppress the situation. Lower Realm, Xinghuan Sect. Crazy, I miss you so much. Hearing this familiar voice, the one-armed madman who was chasing the little yellow dog shuddered all over and said in shock, why did this white-haired man run out? Fuck. White-haired, are you sick? This is the outside world. What do you mean by chasing me and beating me? Looking at the white-haired man holding a pure white jade ruler chasing him, the one-armed madman also ran away and cursed. I don't want to either, but the boss said that you and Xiaotang are living too comfortably outside, and we must let you remember the feeling of home. Hearing the one-armed madman's curse, the white-haired man excitedly explained. Hee hee. If that's the case, there will be no good life if I go back anyway, so let's find some feeling of home in you first. At this time, the little girl eating a lollipop also appeared here, and then strange blood-colored runes began to spread all over her body, and she rushed directly towards the white-haired man. Ha ha ha. Fun, really fun. You guys are really good at playing. Watching the little girl chasing the white-haired man and the white-haired man chasing the one-armed madman, the little yellow dog on the side was so excited. Sword Dog, since it's so fun, you should join in. Hearing the excited voice of the little yellow dog, the one-armed madman rushed towards the little yellow dog with a blood-red rapier in his hand. What should I do? This battle came too suddenly, I'm not prepared at all. Should I run now? Watching the three people and one dog chasing each other, the blood-sucking mantis on the side became inexplicably uneasy at this time. Brother Mantis. Brother Dog has been bullied like this, and not only did you not help, you even watched the fun from the side, and took Brother Dog's sword. The upper realm, outside the Wuji Holy Land. Crazy. This world is really crazy. Someone actually handed in 1 million top-grade fairy stones to join the Holy Land, and this person is a lunatic. Looking at Tu Ming in front of her, Huli began to doubt her life. Holy Lord, this is the way you personally said to accept disciples, and I have already handed over 1 million top-grade fairy stones. You are not going to regret it, are you? Looking at Huli, who was silent, Tu Ming asked nervously. Tu Ming. Do you really want to join my Wuji Holy Land? If your master knows about this, are you sure he won't beat you to death? After hearing Tu Ming's words, Huli also looked at Tu Ming seriously and asked. Holy Lord, I really want to join the Wuji Holy Land. As for my master, he can't control me now. Alas. Huli sighed helplessly after hearing this, and then took Tu Ming directly to the entrance of the Holy Land, while Elder Taishu, Elder Zizhu, and Elder Xuangu beside him looked at Tu Ming from time to time. They didn't expect that they would accept Tu Ming into the Holy Land this time. A moment later. This is the Magic Spirit Illusion Stone. When Huli, Tu Ming, Elder Taishu, and others arrived at the entrance of the Holy Land, they saw that the entrance had turned into a maze entrance formed by the Magic Spirit Illusion Stone. At this moment, everyone was stunned. It was fine when it came out, but it can't go back? Maze formation. This is a maze array formed by thousands of Magic Spirit Illusion Stones. Moreover, these thousands of Magic Spirit Illusion Stones are changing their positions all the time. Even if we can see everything now, once we enter, without being able to use our spiritual sense, we will be completely in the dark and can only walk blindly. After flying into the air, everyone looked at the maze array that completely blocked the entrance to the Holy Land, and their faces showed extremely shocked expressions. I'm afraid that the only person who can take out so many Magic Spirit Illusion Stones is Elder Xinghuan. This maze array should be created by him. At this time, Huli also directly expressed her thoughts. Everyone, wait here for a moment, I'll see if I can fly directly from above. After saying that, Elder Taishu flew directly to the entrance of the Holy Land. Buzz. Just when Elder Taishu had just entered the range of the maze array, a green sword energy that shook the space flashed past his ears. Gudong. Thinking back to the terrifying sword energy just now, Elder Taishu swallowed his saliva with horror, and then quickly retreated. Holy Lord! This is no longer an ordinary maze formation. It is also superimposed with the Wuji Xianxian formation. Moreover, I feel that the Wuji Xianxian formation has become even more terrifying. This is definitely not normal. Let's go through the maze. You should understand everything when you meet Elder Xinghuan. After retreating, Elder Taishu also directly told all the situations he knew. Enter the maze. After listening to what Elder Taishu said, Huli also took the lead in entering the maze. Unable to use spiritual consciousness, there were magical spirit illusion stones that were their own mirror images all around them. After just a short walk, everyone felt like they were going crazy. Moreover, as the 10,000 magical spirit illusion stones kept moving, everyone would occasionally find that one person was missing from their side, and soon, they would find that there was no one around them. A maze that you can't get out of. The same mirror images are always everywhere. As time went by, everyone's mentality began to gradually collapse. They never thought that they would be driven crazy by a maze. Anxiety. Depression. Irritability. Collapse. Elder Jade Ghost, who controlled the maze formation, noticed the change in everyone's emotions, and a look of fear appeared in his eyes. He thought to himself, it's too scary. I still underestimated this maze formation. None of these people are simple characters. As a result, their mentality has collapsed. Is this the real horror of the maze formation? Chapter 308. Listen to my explanation. Elder Jade Ghost panicked. Everyone, just keep moving forward now, and you will be out of the maze soon. Just when everyone was in a state of mental collapse, Elder Jade Ghost's voice suddenly rang out from the maze formation. A moment later. Huh. When everyone finally walked out of the maze formation, everyone couldn't help but take a deep breath to release the various repressed complex emotions in their hearts. Elder Jade Ghost. What is the situation with this maze formation? After gradually calming down, Huli looked at Elder Yugue and asked. Holy Lord. This maze formation was created by Elder Xinghuan. And on this maze formation, the improved Wuji Zhanxian formation and the extremely terrifying defense Gue Yuxian formation are superimposed. Let's put it this way, as long as there are enough fairy crystals, even if a strong man from the immortal tribulation realm comes, he will be trapped in this maze formation, and it will be easy to wipe out the opponent. Hearing Huli's question, Elder Yugue also briefly explained the situation of the maze formation. When Elder Jade Ghost saw Huli suddenly fly into the air and start looking for something in the maze formation, he asked with a puzzled look on his face, Holy Lord, what are you looking for? Do you want me to help you find it? This maze formation is under my control, and I know everything inside. Where is the sword steel? Elder Jade Ghost, where is the eye of the sword steel formation that has been passed down in our Wuji Holy Land for more than 100,000 years? Huli looked at Elder Jade Ghost anxiously, and shouted when she didn't find the sword steel standing at the entrance of the Holy Land. It's gone. Elder Xinghuan thought the eye of the sword monument was in the way, so he destroyed it directly. Holy Lord, come down quickly, I know 2 more secrets about Elder Xinghuan. After explaining, Elder Yugue also hurriedly called Huli in the air to come down quickly. A moment later. One look destroyed the sword monument. A mysterious and powerful white-haired array master. When everyone heard what Elder Yugue said, they all showed extremely shocked expressions on their faces. At this moment, they found that Yifeng's mystery and power far exceeded their imagination. That's right. Elder Xinghuan has handed over the Eye of the Maze Array to me. It can be said that I will be fully responsible for this maze array in the future. Not only that, he also gave me 100 million top-grade fairy crystals, so that I can use them casually. If I run out of them, I will go to him for them. So, I plan to open the maze array permanently. Seeing everyone's shocked expressions, Elder Yugui also proudly said that he was in charge of the maze array. As for the permanent opening, although Yifeng did not say it, he could hear that the other party wanted him to lose money. How to lose money? It must be permanently opened regardless of whether there are enemies or not. There is absolutely no greater loss than this. Just when Elder Yugui was feeling smug, he suddenly found that the eyes of the people opposite him suddenly became wrong. Elder Yugui, since you are in charge of the maze formation, then the person who just tortured us is you. Elder Jade Ghost, Elder Xinghuan, gave you 100 million top-grade fairy crystals to play with, but you used them to play with us? Elder Jade Ghost, just when I was most desperate, I thought you gave me hope, but now you tell me that despair is also given to me by you. Looking at the people who were ready to fight and walking towards him, listening to their angry words, Elder Jade Ghost admitted that he was a little panicked at this moment. Everyone, listen to my explanation. Elder Xinghuan told me before he left that he wanted me to use you to test the power of this maze formation, not that I deliberately tortured you. Elder Jade Ghost looked at everyone in panic and quickly explained. However, the crowd did not listen to Elder Jade Ghost's explanation at all, and soon surrounded him, and then with anger in their hearts, they swung their fists of justice directly at Elder Jade Ghost. Fuck. You are going to kill me. Top of Xinghuan Peak. When I was in the lower realm, I spent most of my time in the sect. Although the lower realm is a little weak, it's a pity that I didn't have a good time. Now that I'm in the upper realm, I'm afraid I have to change my lifestyle. While traveling in the upper realm, I'm looking for disciples and direct disciples while spending money. I think it should be very interesting. After returning to the Elders' Council, Yifeng also made a preliminary plan for his life in the upper realm. Young Master Yi, are you looking for us? At this moment, the voices of the three quasi-saints suddenly sounded from outside the house. Come in. After hearing the voices of the three people, Yifeng also let the three people enter the house. Since you have joined my Xinghuan Peak, I must be responsible for you. Yesterday, I heard Shi Tianlei say that the Wuji Xianqing Gong you practice needs to be practiced with the Wuji Huanling liquid. I just happen to have some in my hand. In the future, you don't have to go to the Holy Lord to get it. Our Xinghuan Peak can't afford to lose that person. Remember, no matter what cultivation resources you need in the future, whether the Holy Land has it or not, just tell me. Looking at the three people who came in, Yifeng also reminded the three people directly. After all, the Xinghuan Peak where he is mainly attacking prodigals. As a prodigal son, he actually needs to go to the Holy Land to get cultivation resources. Wouldn't it be laughed at by others? Master Yi. In fact, the bucket of Wuji Huanling liquid in Shi Tianlei's hand is enough for the three of us to use for a long time. Who would have thought that he would use it to take a bath? You know, we need to take the Wuji Huanling liquid. He wasted the whole bucket of Wuji Huanling liquid. Hearing Yifeng mention the Wuji Huanling liquid, Mu Lin also quickly told Shi Tianlei about his wasteful behavior last night. What? Shi Tianlei, did you use that small bucket of Wuji Huanling liquid to take a bath? After hearing this, Yifeng also showed a look of shock and looked at Shi Tianlei and asked. That's right. But Master Yi, I did that because... Just as Shi Tianlei was about to explain, Yifeng interrupted him with a big laugh and said directly, not bad, really good. When I accepted you into the peak yesterday, I just said that our main attack was wasteful. I didn't expect you to give me such a big surprise tonight. As he said that, Yifeng directly took out 5 small buckets of Wuji Huanling liquid from the system space, and then looked at Shi Tianlei and said, these 5 small buckets of Wuji Huanling liquid are all yours. Take a bath when you need to, wash your feet when you need to, wash your feet when you need to, and water the flowers when you have nothing to do. Damn. Hearing Yifeng's words and looking at the 5 small buckets of normal Wuji Huanling liquid in front of them, the 3 suddenly remembered one thing, that is, Yifeng is a prodigal son. Although Yifeng said yesterday that they focused on prodigals, and they also personally wove a grass ladder of millions of Yinyang Huantong grasses, they have not yet put themselves into the role of prodigal sons. Chapter 309 Use Wuji Huanling liquid to cool the ground? Young Master Yi. The ground on the top of our Xinghuan peak is too dry. I want to use the Wuji Huanling liquid to cool the ground. I just don't know if you have enough Wuji Huanling liquid in your hand. After recovering from his shock, Lu Chongqing understood one thing, that is, he must learn to spend money, otherwise, all the good things will be taken away by Shi Tianlei's grandson. Use the Wuji Huanling liquid to cool the ground? When Yifeng heard what Lu Chongqing said, he was also shocked. This is really a waste of money. Moreover, if the cooling area wants to cover the entire top of Xinghuan Peak, the 10 barrels of Wuji Huanling liquid in his hand may not be enough. Wait. At this moment, Yifeng suddenly thought of something and asked the system directly, "System, now we have reached the upper realm. When I want to spend money, you can't just provide unlimited fairy stones, fairy crystals, etc. Can you provide unlimited cultivation resources?" Ding. Remind the host that in the upper realm, the system can provide unlimited cultivation resources for spending. It is no longer limited to hard work fees, meeting gifts, etc., but if it exceeds the reasonable range of spending, the host needs to consume the money and click on the jar to replenish it by himself. He laughed. After hearing what the system said, Yifeng smiled and said to the system, "Okay, now I'm going to use the Wuji Phantom Spirit Liquid to cool down the ground at the top of Xinghuan Peak. You provide the Wuji Phantom Spirit Liquid. As for Lu Chongqing's hard work fee, you don't have to pay, I'll pay it myself." Borrowing Lu Chongqing's idea of spending money, he got the Wuji Phantom Spirit Liquid for free from the system, and then let Lu Chongqing do the work, and then he gave him another wave of hard work fees. Thinking that he could directly trigger 2 spending behaviors, Yifeng felt that he was simply a genius. Ding. Host, you old man, you are so fucking good at playing. As the system's complaints sounded, buckets of Wuji Phantom Spirit Liquid continued to appear in the system space. Ha ha ha. Hearing the system's complaints, Yifeng couldn't help laughing. He felt like he had found the code to wealth. As long as he was a good middleman and borrowed other people's spending ideas and used them, he could get a steady stream of spending behavior rewards. In the courtyard, when Lu Chongqing saw the dozens of large wooden barrels with a diameter of 2 meters and a height of 5 meters that Yifeng took out, his eyes almost popped out of his head in shock. Is this the barrel that Yishao mentioned? This is already a super large wooden barrel. Looking at the large wooden barrel in front of him, thinking of Yifeng's previous understanding of a large piece, Lu Chongqing realized one thing, that is, in the future, he has to magnify the measurement units mentioned by Yifeng several times or even dozens of times to understand them. What? What the hell? How did Lu Chongqing get it right all of a sudden? Using the Wuji Huanling liquid to cool down the ground, is this something a human can do? At this time, Mu Lin on the side was already panicking. Because Lu Chongqing and Shi Tianlei had already given extremely good performances as prodigals, and he had done nothing now. If this continued, he would be completely trampled under the feet of Lu Chongqing and Shi Tianlei. Fuck. How did they do it? I'm not a prodigal. After thinking for a long time, when Mu Lin still couldn't come up with a good idea for prodigals, he was going crazy. Elder Xinghuan still knows how to enjoy it. This grass ladder woven from Yinyang magic eye grass is indeed fun to climb. Is this the happiness of a prodigal son? Hu Li, who was climbing on the ladder, also muttered to herself with a thoughtful look on her face. A moment later. Stop. Lu Chongqing, stop it now, are you crazy? When Huli climbed to the top of the mountain, she saw Lu Chongqing holding up a huge wooden barrel with his immortal power and pouring the precious infinite magical liquid on the ground. Her expression changed drastically, and she shouted. Huh? Holy Lord, why are you here? After hearing Huli's shout, Lu Chongqing looked at Huli and asked in surprise. Why am I here? If I don't come, you'll be in heaven. At this point, Huli took a deep breath, then looked at Lu Chongqing and asked, I ask you, why did you pour the extremely precious Wu Ji Huanling liquid on the ground? To cool it down. The sun is scorching, and the ground is extremely dry. This will make Elder Xinghuan extremely uncomfortable, so I am going to use this Wu Ji Huanling liquid to cool the ground. Hearing Huli's question, Lu Chongqing also explained. The ground is dry? Then you use ordinary water to cool the ground, and as a cultivator, do you care about this? After hearing Lu Chongqing's explanation, Huli was about to explode. Cooling the ground, isn't this just a waste of money? Wait. Waste of money? Huli suddenly thought of something, looked at Lu Chongqing and asked again, did Elder Xinghuan ask you to do this? Hearing Huli's question, Lu Chongqing hesitated for a moment, but still explained, Holy Lord, to be honest, after you and Elder Zizhu left last night, sure Tianlei was worried that Mu Lin and I would snatch his Wu Ji Huanling liquid, so he jumped into the bucket to take a bath. As a result, after Mu Lin told Elder Xinghuan about this, Elder Xinghuan not only did not blame him, but rewarded him with 5 more buckets. I have figured it out. As long as I spend money well, I can get unimaginable benefits from Elder Xinghuan. So, I was the one who proposed to use the Wu Ji Huanling liquid to cool the ground, and Elder Xinghuan gave me enough Wu Ji Huanling liquid after he learned about it. Stupid. After listening to what Lu Chongqing said, Huli was completely dumbfounded. She really didn't expect that this crazy wasteful behavior was actually thought up by Lu Chongqing. At this moment, Lu Chongqing's face changed, because he found that his body could not move. Chongqing, as a quasi-holy son, how can you do this kind of work? So, leave it to me. After saying that, Huli's right hand was blessed with immortal power, and she lifted up the large wooden barrel filled with Wu Ji Huanling liquid and walked away. As a quasi-holy son, I am not suitable for this kind of work, but you are the Holy Lord, are you suitable? Seeing Huli leaving with a big wooden barrel, Lu Chongqing, who was fixed in place and unable to move, was going crazy. This was the wasteful behavior he had finally thought of. Thinking about his yin-yang fantasy pupil grass being robbed yesterday and his performance opportunity being robbed today, Lu Chongqing was confused at this moment. He didn't know why he joined Xinghuan Peak. Was it to get others to rob him of his hard work fee and performance opportunity? Chapter 310 Opportunity? Who the hell gave you the opportunity? On the other side. While Huli was climbing the ladder to the peak, Elder Zizhu had already brought Tu Meng to Yifeng's elder's courtyard by walking on the peak road. Tu Meng? Why is this guy here? Looking at Tu Meng standing next to Elder Zizhu, Yifeng also revealed a trace of doubt. In his mind, shouldn't Tu Meng leave directly after maintaining the order of the disciple recruiting conference? Peng. Just when Yifeng was puzzled, Tu Meng knelt down directly in front of Yifeng, and said excitedly, "Thank you, Master Yi, for giving me such an opportunity. I will definitely do a good job for Master Yi in the future." Give you a chance? What the hell did I give you? What are you doing for me? Looking at Tu Meng kneeling in front of him, hearing what he said, Yifeng was completely confused. Isn't it just asking him to maintain the order of the disciple recruiting conference? Why did it suddenly become like this? Young Master Yi, although you don't say it, Tu Meng knows it in his heart. First, I was asked to maintain the order of the disciple recruiting conference, and then the Holy Land spent a lot of money to change the assessment method. It can be said that this assessment method is completely prepared for me alone. Except for me, who else can come up with 1,000,000 top-grade fairy stones? Young Master Yi, you have paid too much behind the scenes to allow me to join the Holy Land in a natural way. Tu Meng will remember all these in his heart. Tu Meng will never let you down. Looking at the silent Yi Feng, Tu Meng also directly said all his thoughts in his heart. He wanted Yi Feng to know that he, Tu Meng, was not a fool, and he saw all this clearly. Fuck. You can associate two such unrelated things together. You have a crazy imagination. After listening to what Tu Meng said, Yi Feng was going crazy. He didn't think so. After hearing these words, Elder Zizhu on the side also showed a look of sudden enlightenment, thinking in his heart, it seems that Elder Xinghuan cares about this Tu Meng. This Tu Meng is a fighting madman, and he also has a terrifying fighting saint body. Now he has Elder Xinghuan, a prodigal god, as a backer. I really don't know how terrifying he can grow in the future. Elder Xinghuan, as you said before, as long as someone hands in 1,000,000 top-grade fairy stones, they will be brought directly to your Xinghuan peak. Now I have brought the person here. If there is nothing else, I will leave first. After saying that, Elder Zizhu turned around and left Yi Feng's house. Hey! Does this count as catching all the fighting saint body lineage in one fell swoop? Looking at Tu Meng in front of him, thinking of Huang Xiaofei and Wu Tianming in the lower world, Yi Feng sighed helplessly, then looked at Tu Meng and said, Get up, since you handed in 1,000,000 top-grade fairy stones to join the Holy Land, you are a member of Xinghuan Peak, I will take you to meet the other three first. Sure Tianlei, what's wrong with you? How can you let Elder Zizhu help me clean the courtyard, and you just watch from the side, how can this be? When Yi Feng took Tu Meng out of the house, he saw Elder Zizhu, who was cleaning the courtyard, and Sure Tianlei standing beside him. This made him frown and scold Sure Tianlei directly. Young Master Yi, I don't want to do it either. But I can't move now. Elder Zizhu insisted on doing this. He is stealing my job. Hearing Yi Feng's scolding, Sure Tianlei also explained extremely collapsed, but the words he said were humming, and Yi Feng couldn't understand what he wanted to say at all. Elder Xinghuan. Sure Tianlei is a quasi-holy son. How can he do such rough work? It's better for me to do this kind of work. Elder Zizhu stood up at this time, looked at Yi Feng with a smile and explained. Seeing Sure Tianlei humming and hearing what Elder Zizhu said, Yi Feng seemed to have guessed something and said directly, Then I'll have to trouble Elder Zizhu. No hard work fee. Absolutely no hard work fee. If this starts, won't the 8 great elders and the Holy Lord have to come to my Xinghuan Peak in the future? Yi Feng also made a decision in his heart at this time, that is, he will never give hard work fees, even if he doesn't want the reward for this wasteful behavior, if all of them come to him, who will develop the Wuji Holy Land and who will train the disciples of the Wuji Holy Land. Holy Lord? At this moment, when Yi Feng saw Hu Li in the distance holding up a large wooden barrel to cool the ground, his face was instantly covered with black lines. He felt that his worries were completely correct. Elder Zizhu. Holy Lord. There is one thing I have to make clear to you first. People from Xinghuan Peak get hard work pay, but if it's you, there will be no hard work pay afterwards. Looking at Elder Zizhu on the side and Hu Li not far away, Yi Feng also shouted directly. Stupid. Hearing Yi Feng's words, Elder Zizhu, who was busy cleaning the courtyard, and Hu Li, who was cooling the ground, were both stunned. This is different from what they thought. They just found a shortcut to get rich, and it ended before it even started? Holy Lord, Elder Zizhu. If I have any problems in the future, I will definitely ask you for help. At that time, the hard work fee will not be small. But for rough work like this, it is better to leave it to the 3 quasi-holy sons. Looking at the 2 people who were stunned, Yi Feng also smiled and made a promise to them. 2 involution. I heard from Master before that in the Xinghuan sect of the lower realm, the involution of the sect was extremely serious. Who would have thought that Yi Xiao had just come to Wuji Holy Land for 2 days and caused the trend of involution in the Holy Land? It's really terrible. Tu Meng, who was standing by, was also extremely frightened and thought to himself. And Mu Lin, who saw all this not far away, was almost crying. He never dreamed that the competition on Xinghuan Peak would be so fierce that even the Holy Lord and the Supreme Elder wanted to get involved. After Hu Li and Elder Zizhu left, Yi Feng called Lu Chongqing, Shi Tianlei, and Mu Lin over and formally introduced Tu Meng to the 3 of them. Except for Lu Chongqing, when Shi Tianlei and Mu Lin learned about Tu Meng's identity, their eyes almost popped out of their heads. They never thought that this newly joined middle-aged man was the fighting madman who had defeated the Holy Lord. Mu Lin, what's the matter with you? After Lu Chongqing, Shi Tianlei, and Tu Meng left, Yi Feng found that only Mu Lin did not leave, and asked with curiosity. Master Yi. I want to squander my fortune, but I don't know how. Can you teach me? Hearing Yi Feng's question, Mu Lin also asked tentatively. Ding. Random tasks are released. Please take Mu Lin out for a trip, let him learn the way of prodigal from the host, and successfully become a qualified prodigal. The task time is 2 days. If the task is successful, you will be rewarded with random prodigal points, and there is a 99% chance of rewarding 3 immortal pills. If the task fails, you will be rewarded with random prodigal points, and there is a 50% chance of rewarding 3 immortal pills.